This is an example of self-reliance, self-help. We're using what we've got to get what we want. We're pooling our resources financially, educationally, so that we may create opportunities for ourselves. This allows us to become self-sufficient and independent. My name is Myron Lee. I'm the CEO for NAAAED, the National Association for African American Economic Development, founded by the late Mr. Lewis Harding. His slogan was, "The color of freedom is green." And he wanted an entity to have where African Americans can go if and when they had a problem or a crisis. Because today we have nowhere to go. NAACP isn't there, SCLC isn't there. And unfortunately, the church doesn't lend itself to our suffering either. Mr. Lewis Harding was the founder. It was founded back in 1992. He kept it active. He did his 990 with the IRS to keep his 501c3 status. But when I met him in 2017, he was excited to for some young people to get involved. And when he told me the name and what it was all about, I asked him, "So how do you join that?" And it messed him up. He laughed. He said, "I didn't anticipate that." And so with that, I would like to also make NAAAED a membership organization. As you said, with the organizations that used to be in the community, where it was pillars of the community, as time went on, success kind of ruined them. But when you come back now, some 30, 40, 50 years later, those organizations need to resurface, but they don't have a lot of young people or people today don't know anything about those. So that's where NAAAED can come in. And we're launching our community revitalization initiative, a fundraiser. And we're using bingo as one of the catalysts to help raise funds. There aren't too many venues that we support wholeheartedly outside of the church. And my National Guard unit went to a bingo club to help raise money for our National Guard unit. And that's when I saw the potential of what a bingo can do. That was before the lotto and the casino came, and they had about 1,000 people in there. As a matter of fact, I finished from Southern University with my degree in accounting, so I ran the numbers right quick in my head. 1,000 people times $30 is $30,000 twice a day, 7 days a week. So you look at that's a lot of money. That's $420,000 a week times 4 times 12. So we're looking in the millions that was raised to support other causes and letting our community go without. So this is also a test and an enlightenment for our people to understand that we have more power than what we think, and we have to learn how to spend our money within our own community. That's why we say community bingo, where every dollar you spend, you see it again. It's not bingo for the sake of bingo, it's bingo with a purpose. And the purpose is to help us raise much needed funds that we can reapportion back into our community through scholarships, grants, buying vacant lots and building houses. That's the type of money that we can raise. And like I said, I'm hoping we would have that aha moment when the light bulb goes off and our people can see that. Well, as it said, the name, the National Association for African American Economic Development. This is an example of self-reliance, self-help. We're using what we've got to get what we want. We're pooling our resources financially, educationally, so that we may create opportunities for ourselves. This allows us to become self-sufficient and independent. So when it comes to the scholarships, we're going to have a board. What I'm anticipating is, hey, if you go to the HBC and we have the funds, we'll give you 100%. If you're going to a non-HBC college, we may give you half, because hopefully, like I said, we want to turn this money over among all of our entities from A to Z, the schools, the HBCs, all of that. When it comes to just community service, we may have some seniors in our group that maybe we can ease the pressure one month and say, we'll pay your light bill. We'll buy you some groceries. The state requires that when you raise these funds through charitable gaming, that it be used, half of it has to be used for charities, and the other half can be used for operational expense. So that's where we'll be able to pay salaries, in addition to putting the other money back into the community through those particular programs. It may sound like I'm racist, but I'm not racist, but I will admit I'm racial. allow me to love my people the way everybody else can love theirs. And I think we'll be all right. McDonald 35, fellow alumni such as yourself, and I can't graduate from here at SUNO. I had an athletic scholarship. I thought I was going to sign that contract, but there was a guy by the name of Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, so no one noticed that I may have scored 30 points a game, but I just had the love for my people to keep the dream alive so that I can continue on this. It's been a labor of love for over 20 years, and it finally came to fruition, and I'm just hoping that I can live up and be a good steward of this, and also let this serve as a testimony for our people, or a test, because if this doesn't work, it's not because white America didn't do it, it's because we didn't do it. And just like you were saying earlier, when we try to be self-motivated, people twist it up and say, oh, you're talking black stuff. But the difference between us and other ethnic groups is, Dr. Clark said, they have what is known as culture continuity. They speak their native tongue. They know their last name. They become a Christian if they want to be. We spend close to $1.6 trillion in this country. That is more money than most of the countries in the world, with the exception of a few. King said it in '68. He said the American Negro spends $33 billion. He said that's more money than most of the countries in the world, with the exception of a few. He also said that's power right there if we know how to pool it. So that's what I would like to enlighten our people to understand. Grants are fine, but with this type of money that we have access to, you don't need a grant. All we need is God and one another. Dr. Clark also said, he said, we are totally an unobligated people. We don't owe anybody anything, anywhere, anytime, any place, left or right. Everyone who came among us, they came among us to exploit us, and they have exploited us successfully. I worked for the city of New Orleans as the economic development fiscal manager, and there was an ordinance on the books that said you can play bingo, but you couldn't pay anybody. That's why you didn't have bingo in Orleans Parish. The Catholic Church, that was a part of your volunteering to the church. So today, Cindy Wynn was the council person at that time. They had it rescinded, and we changed it. So now it's economic development. It's jobs. So that's how we approached her, and she supported us on it, and she passed it. So now that's how we were able to open and play bingo in Orleans Parish, because now we can pay the people. Yeah, we got the numbers. We had 250 people to show up that night. I think they said there was a few spies in there from the other charitable organizations, or other bingo halls, because now since then we've started a bingo war. But we had a nice participation. It was the first. We asked that the mayor be there, but we didn't get it. We didn't actually have a definite date, so it was hard for us to pin her down with a date. But we hope to get her to come out soon. But it was very interesting. It was very supportive. Tonight would be our fourth game, and we're going through the growing pains of just letting people know. That's why I'm taking this interview with you, so that we can share it with your friends on social media. And I ask that they come and support us, because like I said, every dollar you spend, you see it again. And we need to understand that freedom isn't free. It was paid for with blood, sweat, and tears by our ancestors. And our mothers and fathers paid the ultimate price. So they paid the down payment. We have to keep paying the monthly notes. And I said, not by buying more tennis shoes, not by buying more hair. Now we have to learn how to invest in one another. And I say, for those who may have questions about it, get involved. Because as Booker T. Washington said, when you spend your money, you have the right to ask how my money is being spent. Because business is everything. Even when you put your money in the church, that's business. So you have the right to ask Reb, what's happening? So if he can call you a non-believer, it's business, Reb. What's happening? So the same thing, when y'all make the donations to us, come and ask, how many grants did you give? How many scholarships? We'd be glad, because we'd like to make NAAAED a membership organization, because membership has its privileges. No, not necessarily. They just come and buy your $20 pack, or buy your $50 bingo mate, and that's how you come into play. Now, when we say in terms of donations, if you had an organization, and you said, well, my Blair's organization come, so let's say you had 100 people there, and they all showed the ID cards, we can make a $5 donation for each one of your members. That's $500. And it allows you to help raise money too, because this is what it's all about. other organizations, they can come and we can give them a percentage of the donations, a percentage of what we can make a donation to them, which allows you to be able to operate your organization too. That's why I said grants are fine, but grants aren't guaranteed. And then it comes with stipulations. And then we're asking the government and other white entrepreneurs to support your black thing or your African American thing, which, why should they? Yeah, well, the state allows the youngest player that can play is 7 years old because it's referred to as charitable gaming, not the rolling of the dice and Papa needs a new pair of shoes. You know, this is charitable gaming, so you can bring the kid, and we are targeting the youth because the youth are our future. The youth is like a seed, and when you plant the seed and that flower grows up, if you don't water it right, then it will die, wither and die. So we like to be able to plant this seed of progression and development with our youth for them to see what our parents did. This is an institution that can be here long after we're dead and gone. And if we support it, it'll support them. Yes, right now it's bingo, but I've been when I've asked a few people to pass out a flyer, oh, I don't play bingo. As I said earlier, I was the Economic Development Fund manager for the city of New Orleans. There was a percentage of your millage that went into this fund that was passed back when Mark Mario was the mayor. And so I want to copy that same framework and use it for us. We can do an economic development fund. I want to launch what is known as a dollar a week campaign. Because as I said earlier, brother, freedom isn't free. So we have to be able to put something into the kitty in order to have something to get out. And so for those who don't want to play bingo, we got the dollar a week campaign. Or you could just make a donation to NAAAED. We're working with Brother Jamal, which happens to be a friend of yours, and he's setting up our website right now, and we're going to have that link for donations. But I know it's hard to get somebody to just give, so that's why we said the bingo or a dollar a week. And with looking at the collective effort of us all, we must understand you may not be my biological brother, but you're my brother as the extended family. You know, so we need to understand that, and it starts with us. Like I said, I don't hold anything against the other ethnic groups, but we have to learn how to get things started for ourselves. We have to understand nationhood, being able to build a nation within a nation. Freedom isn't free. We're going to get just as much as we're willing to put into it. We ask that we want to be treated as an equal. We want respect. First of all, equality isn't white America's thing to give us. We make ourselves equal by doing what we're doing here now. And once we've done those things, then we ascertain the elusive respect. Because other than that, you get his pity. So if we stand up, rise to the occasion, do what we have to do to leave a legacy for our children, we should be all right. Because in the Bible it says, you can't serve two masters. You got to love one and hate the other. Who we gonna love?